All Acura concept cars from 1989 to 2022. Acura NSX Prototype 1989. The story of the NSX prototype starts in 1984 with the HPX concept built by Pine and Farina after Honda commissioned them. The project later evolved into the NSX prototype developed by a Honda design team and later evolved into the series production model. The name NSX comes from New Sports Car Experimental. In North America, the prototype has been introduced as the Acura NSX. Acura tlx 1995, introduced in the 1995 edition of the North American Auto Show. The concept car has been designed by Honda North America as a sporty coupe with a sculpted wedge design and driver-oriented aspect, with wraparound instrumentation. This was the first Acura model designed exclusively in the USA, and later the project evolved into the Acura CL Coupe. Acura tlx 1998. The TLX concept car introduced in the 1998 edition of the North American Auto Show was just a preview of the second-generation Acura TL, which debuted later the same year. The concept car used the same engine that found its way into the series production model, mated with a sport-shift automatic transmission. The TLX concept also featured an adaptive cruise control and advanced traction control system, navigation system, and high-fidelity Bose audio system. Later the same year, TL production started in a new plant in Ohio. Acura MDX Concept 2000. The MDX concept was the first Acura take on a sport utility vehicle and was a preview of the series production model that went into production in the fall of the same year. The MDX had distinctive Acura styling cues with brushed nickel accents both on the exterior and interior. The MDX features state-of-the-art tech of that time, including a GPS navigation system. Acura RSX Prototype 2001. This prototype was an early preview of the Acura RSX, a replacement for the older Acura Integra. The car featured Michelin tires, mounted on BBS alloy wheels, leather Recaro front seats, power moonroof, and four-wheel disc brakes. Acura RSX Concept 2001. It has been introduced at the Greater Los Angeles Auto Show as a modified car, and it was built by the Accessory Design and Engineering Group of American Honda. The main differences from the standard model are the widened track, with race car suspension tuning, front and rear carbon fiber spoilers and diffusers, an underbody spoiler, dual center exhaust, custom HID headlights, and a fender. The cockpit also received the same theme changes as the exterior, with a race-style instrument panel and an instrument cluster with a 9000 red line. Acura 3.2 CL Type S Concept 2002. This Acura concept was a tuned-up version of the Acura CL built to boost the image of the new Type S model that was introduced in the same year. Acura DNX Concept 2002. Introduced at the New York Auto Show, DNX is a concept of a sports sedan packed with all the latest technology of that time. The car was powered by a mid-mounted V6 engine, with the power transmitted to the rear wheels, while the electric motor provides additional power to all four wheels, generating sports car performance but also good fuel consumption. It also featured regenerative braking. The combined power plant was mated to a 6-speed clutchless manual transmission, like the ones used in Formula One. All controls, including brake, acceleration, and steering, are controlled by a drive-by-wire system, and it has been equipped with a Vehicle Stability Assist VSA system and the Active Torque Transfer System ADTS for a more stable drive. The sporty tuned chassis was adding more to the sporty drive, while the low 0.23 drag coefficient helped the car reach easier higher speeds and lower consumption. The innovations do not stop here, as the car was packed with active safety features, like the lane keeping assistance with cameras and audible and visual warnings, while the steering automatically centers the car in the lane, and an adaptive cruise control system with laser radar that keeps the distance constant from the car ahead. Other safety features were the night vision system, with active audible and visual warnings, and active headlights with the information provided by the GPS navigation system to illuminate a turn even before the wheels are turned. Acura RDX Concept 2002. Introduced at the 2002 Detroit Motor Show, the RDX concept has been developed by Honda America as a design study before starting to develop the model that would go into series production. It has been designed as a weekend sports vehicle, with a large 3-glass door opening in the rear to provide easy loading for mountain bikes or other sports equipment, while the all-around large windows provide a clear view for off-road driving or admiring the scenery. The car was powered by a 2.4-liter engine plus an electric motor, mated to a 6-speed clutchless manual transmission with a paddle shifter. Inside, the car has a driver-oriented cockpit and easy-to-configure rear seats for an increased rear storage area. The car had advanced features, like a head-up display with active information and warning lights, and a satellite navigation system. Acura tlx-l Concept 2003. The car debuted at the New York Auto Show as a preview for the new Acura tlx-l generation that later followed. The car had a low profile, performance tires, Brembo brakes, xenon headlights and LED rear lights, and aluminum accents. Some steps have been made to make the car more aerodynamically, including cameras and displays instead of side view mirrors and the absence of windshield wipers, which have been substituted with jet nozzles that blow high-pressure air. Acura TSX Concept A-Spec 2003. The TSX A-Spec was a tuned-up version of the Acura TSX introduced in the same year. It was presented in the 2003 SEMA Car Show as an image booster for the new model. The TSX was similar to the 7th generation of the European and Japanese Honda Accord. Acura tlx-l A-Spec Concept 2003. This concept of a performance luxury sedan debuted at the Greater Los Angeles Auto Show and was an intensively modified Acura tlx-l. It was wider than a production model, with a 2-inch wider track, 21-inch alloy wheels, and high-performance tires, offering the car a more muscular appearance. The front and the rear have been redesigned not only for visual impact but for better downforce too. It was powered by a 3.2-liter V6 engine, developing over 300 horsepower. To cope with the power increase, the car had a high-performance suspension that also brings a lower car and center of gravity, an 8-piston caliper, 15 inches drilled Brembo disc brakes. Inside, the car has a red leather trim with carbon, Kevlar, and aluminum inserts. Acura RL Prototype 2004. The Acura RL Prototype debuted at the New York International Auto Show as a pre-production model of the new generation Acura RL and was similar to the 4th generation Honda Legend. It was powered by a 3.5-liter V6 engine with 300 horsepower and featured the super handling all-wheel drive system that distributes the amount of torque between the front and rear wheels and also between the left and right rear wheels. During straight-line cruising, up to 70% of torque is at the front wheels. When cornering, it sends up to 100% of rear torque to the outer wheel to improve cornering. Acura TSX A-Spec Concept 2005. The car has been unveiled in Las Vegas at the 2005 SEMA Show as a sporty tune of the Acura TSX. The car has an aggressive design with a 20mm wider track, wider fenders, and improved front and rear for better downforce and better engine ventilation, including a rear underbody split diffuser and carbon Kevlar spoiler. The changes do not limit to the styling and aero package, as the car seats on larger performance wheels with Michelin tires and has a sport suspension plus oversized Brembo brakes. Inside, the car has a hand-stitched 2-tone Alcantara leather interior with birchwood accents. Acura RSX A-Spec Concept 2005. Introduced at the 2005 Las Vegas SEMA Show, the car has been built by the accessory design and engineering team of Honda America as a highly tuned version of the Acura RSX. The car has a widened chassis that added 5 inches, race car suspension tuning, 19-inch wheels with Michelin F1 tires, Brembo brakes, a carbon aero package, and an underbody rear diffuser. Inside, the car received a race-style interior with carbon fiber seats and a 9,000 RPM gauge. Acura RL I-Spec 2005. The RL I-Spec concept was presented at the 2005 North American International Auto Show, and it was a modified version of the standard Acura RL. The car is an inch wider than the standard model, with widened fenders and restyled panels, a 30mm wider track, 20-inch alloy wheels, and high-performance Pirelli Sport tires. The suspension received also an upgrade, with track-tuned shocks and lower springs, while the brakes were a Brembo package with 8-piston calipers and 15-inch drilled rotors. Acura RDX Concept 2005. The car debuted at the 2005 North American International Auto Show as a styling exercise and a preview for the new model that appeared a year later. The design features an aggressive look with all-around LED lights, wide fenders, and a rear spoiler. The interior of the car has a light theme interior with live colors with a combination of ivory leather and ivory suede. The seats are trimmed in tangerine-colored leather, with ivory-colored wool headrests. The dash has an LCD screen, with voice recognition features, navigation system satellite communication, and a hard drive for digitally storing music. The mirrors have been replaced with cameras and the rear seats can be easily folded, creating enough space for mountain bikes. Acura MDX Concept 2006. The concept with futuristic styling debuted at the 2006 New York International Auto Show as a hint of the design approach for the next-generation Acura MDX that was introduced in the fall of the same year. The car featured the super-handling all-wheel drive system, tuned on the Nürburgring racetrack. Its design was clean but bold, with high-intensity discharge headlights. Acura Advanced Sedan Concept 2006. The concept debuted at the Los Angeles Auto Show, designed by Acura Los Angeles Design Studio. The car had a sculpted edge body, with a low profile sitting on 22-inch wheels in the front and 23-inch in the rear, made from polished aluminum. The windshield is continued from the hood to the trunk by a full-size glass top and offers a panoramic view. Acura RDX Prototype 2006. The SUV debuted at the North American International Auto Show as a pre-production version of the Acura RDX series production model that shortly followed in the summer. The car was built on the new light truck platform and it was powered by a 2.3-liter turbocharged engine, being the first force induction engine ever used on an Acura model. The car features the super-handling all-wheel drive system and vehicle stability assist. Inside, the car features navigation system with voice recognition, satellite communication with real-life traffic, and a hands-free phone link. Acura Advanced Sports Car Concept 2007. Introduced at the 2007 North American International Auto Show, the car was a styling exercise for a new generation of the NSX, as Honda had the plan to introduce a V10-powered replacement for the NSX, a plan that never materialized for a series production model because of the high cost, but spawned the HSV010 that raced in the most famous Japanese race series. The concept car was powered by a V10, derived from the Honda Formula One engine, transmitting the power to the rear wheels and mated with the super-handling all-wheel drive system. Although the engine was placed on the front side, it was located behind the front axle for more optimal weight distribution. The long and slim LED headlights have been designed to mimic the pop-up headlights of the NSX. The Advanced Sports Car concept featured a carbon fiber underbody with a rear diffuser, polished aluminum 19 and 20-inch wheels, and ventilated carbon ceramic disc brakes with 8-piston calipers. Acura ZDX Concept 2009. Introduced at the 2009 New York International Auto Show, the ZDX concept was a pre-production version of the Acura ZDX, that will go into series production during the fall of the same year. The car was designed, combining an SUV with the style of a coupe and a sports sedan. It was powered by a V6 engine, mated with a 6-speed automatic transmission. The stylish prototype features 20-inch wheels and dual-chrome exhaust, while the interior is fitted with premium leather seats and a hand-stitched leather dashboard and race-inspired paddle shifters. The technology offered inside was up-to-date, with a blind spot information system and a multi-view rear camera with the added enhancement of both a wide-angle and top-down view. Acura RLX Concept 2012 released in April 2012 at the New York International Auto Show. The RLX Concept was a pre-production model of the replacement of the Acura RL that was unveiled later the same year at the Los Angeles Auto Show. The RLX was the first Acura application of a hybrid powertrain with the super-handling all-wheel drive system, a powertrain that was combined with a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission and a lightweight body. The concept was about the same size as the RL model, but with a longer wheelbase. It included a lot of safety features, including a collision mitigation braking system, Acura's lane keep assist system, front, side, and side curtain airbags for the driver and front passenger, and a driver's knee airbag. Acura NSX Roadster Concept 2012 unveiled at Marvel's film premiere and later at the SEMA Auto Show, and it was a car specially built for the movie. Acura ILX Concept 2012 unveiled at the 2012 edition of the North International Auto Show. The car was a preview of the production model that followed only a few months later. It was a subcompact sedan, a model that Acura did not have in its range in the USA since the Integra sedan was phased out in 2001. In Canada, the ILX was a replacement for the CSX model, a Canada-only Acura subcompact sedan. Acura NSX Concept 2012. After dropping off the V10-powered NSX project, Honda started a new development of a hybrid NSX replacement. The first preview of the new project was this NSX concept car introduced at the 2012 North American International Auto Show. The car was powered by a mid-placed V6 engine, plus the 2 electric motors, and just like the first NSX model featured the super-handling all-wheel drive system. It was the first glimpse offered by Honda of the new direction taken for a new generation of the NSX. Acura RDX Prototype 2012. The RDX prototype was just a pre-production model, presented as a preview for the series production model that followed only a few months later. Acura ILX Street Build 2012. The ILX Street Build was unveiled at the 2012 edition of the SEMA Car Show as an image booster for the newly launched Acura ILX. The concept car was built by Evasive Motorsport for Acura and featured a lot of modifications, including an engine tune with a supercharger kit and a Q-tune. On the exterior, the car received an aero kit, 19-inch wheels, sports exhaust, and Pirelli Peugeot tires, while the suspension was tuned with new coilovers and had damping force adjustability. Acura MDX Prototype 2013. Unveiled at the North American International Auto Show. The car was just a pre-production model of the series production version that followed later the same year. Acura NSX Concept 2013. A new NSX concept was unveiled, bringing the car closer to production specifications than the one presented in the previous year. The NSX was designed and developed at the Honda Development Center in Ohio by a global team of engineers and designers. It was powered by a V6 mid-placed engine, coupled with 2 electric motors in the front. All that combined power was managed by the super-handling all-wheel drive system for faster and safer driving. Acura RLX Urban Luxury 2013. Acura had quite an impressive presence at the 2013 edition of the SEMA show, with 3 tuned Acura models. The Urban Luxury RLX was built using Acura genuine accessories for both interior and exterior upgrades, and it was built by MAD Industries for Acura. The modifications include only visual styling and tinted windows as the engine remained untouched. Acura RLX VIP 2013. The VIP model was the second one unveiled at the 2013 SEMA show, inspired by the lowrider VIP style cars of Japan. It was built with carbon fiber exterior accents, Tyne Street Flex coilovers for a lowered car, and evasive motorsports oversized brakes and titanium exhaust. Acura Street Performance tlx 2013. The third Acura prototype was unveiled at the 2013 edition of the SEMA show as a highly tuned version of the series production model. It was powered by the same engine, with an added CD engineering supercharger and ECU, a greedy sport exhaust, K&N high-performance air filter. The car seats on 19-inch matte black wheels from TSW with Nitto Max tires and has a body kit from Acura and a CD engineering short shift kit. Acura SUVX Concept 2013, unveiled at the 2013 Shanghai Auto Show. It was the concept of a smaller SUV that was intended to be developed mainly for the Chinese market. It was the first Acura model to premiere outside of North America, and there were plans for the model to be mass-produced in China in the next 3 years. However, due to the slow sales of Acura cars on the Chinese market, all the plans were dropped. Acura tlx Prototype 2014. The car debuted at the 2014 edition of the North American International Auto Show as a pre-production model of the car with the same name that debuted shortly after. The TLX was the replacement model for the previous Acura TL. Acura Precision Concept 2016. The concept car debuted at the North American International Auto Show of 2016 and has been designed by Acura Design Studio in California and explores a bolder and more futuristic design theme for Acura. It has an overall athletic presence, with sculpted side surfaces, enhanced by dual-styled LED headlights and taillights. The interior design is matched with the exterior, carrying over the same dramatic style, with a double-layered instrument panel and high-contrast surfaces. It is covered in leather and furniture-like wooden surfaces plus a hand-built audio speaker system. The cockpit has been designed around the driver with race-inspired paddle shifters, integrated dynamic control with a center head-up display, and an ultra-wide curved screen. Acura tlx-l Prototype 2017. The car debuted at the 2017 edition of the Shanghai Auto Show, and it was a longer wheelbase prototype of the Acura tlx. Built because this type of mid-sized stretched sedan has a tradition in China and an important market share in the upper segment. Acura RDX Prototype 2018. The car was unveiled as a pre-production model for a new generation of the RDX, and a production model followed later in the same year. Same as most Acura cars, it debuted at the North American International Auto Show. Acura Type S Concept 2019. The Type S concept car debuted as an early preview of the design direction taken for the new Acura tlx model that was introduced a year later. The car was also a statement for the return of the Type S sporty versions of the Acura models. The concept used styling cues from previous Acura models but also brought new themes in the Acura design language that would be present in future Acura production models. Some of its design elements, especially on the front fascia, were borrowed from the Acura ARX-05 Daytona prototype that raced in the IMSA series. Acura MDX Prototype 2020. The prototype has been unveiled as a pre-production version of the fourth-generation Acura MDX. The most important news for the model was the return of a Type S model in the Acura lineup. On the exterior can be easily seen the four-wheel oversized Brembo disc brakes with 8-piston calipers, while on the interior, the two-tone leather theme stands out. The new generation replaced the instrument cluster with a new digital one, while the infotainment system uses the same touchpad as the RDX and TLX. The seats have a 16-way power adjustment with massage functionality, and the interior has a new ambient lighting system with 27 different combinations. Acura Integra Prototype 2021. The pre-production prototype announced the return of the Integra nameplate in the Acura lineup. Shortly after, the new series production model was introduced and was the first Acura to use the Integra name after the model was replaced by the Acura RSX. Acura Precision EV Concept 2022. The concept was the first all-electric Acura ever to be unveiled. It has been designed by the Acura Design Studio in Los Angeles, and it was inspired by the luxury Italian powerboats. It is a statement of the new design language to be embraced by the Acura EV lineup. A production model with a similar design theme has been announced to follow late in 2023 or early 2024. The car features a new grille with a theatrical lighting theme. The cockpit was inspired by the Formula One race cars, with a low driving position, and a yoke-style steering wheel that features a few driving modes. Instinctive Drive Mode maximizes the joy and performance by elevating the dynamic connection between the man and the machine, with red-style instrumentation plus red ambient and pipe lighting, while the Spiritual Lunge Mode retracts the steering wheel and transforms the cockpit into a relaxing place for the driver to rest and recharge during the self-driving mode.